Chrono Odyssey was a game that I was super excited about, like max level excitement based on all of the trailers and the gameplay shown. I was super excited about this game. Yeah, the key word is was there. And yeah, after the beta, after playing this game for a while, my opinion has changed dramatically. Let me explain. So first things first, the cutscenes, they are amazing. I can't deny that. They really, really are well done. So cinematic, so detailed, and graphic, and intense. Really, really cool. But they're really not anything different than what was shown in the trailers. I mean, so much of this is just recycled from the trailers. Really nothing new going on here. Still really cool. If you hadn't seen the trailers, if I was a person that hadn't seen the trailers going into this and just trying the beta not knowing anything other than, hey, this is a new upcoming MMO, I would be really impressed. But again, this is all stuff from the trailers, so nothing impressive here. Nothing additionally impressive. I guess I can still appreciate that it was good for what it is, right? But it's not new. It's not a new experience that we're going into with this beta. And maybe that's okay, because, you know, this is all relevant stuff to the story, so, you know, it doesn't have to be a new cinematic, a new cutscene, right? But it's still a little disappointing, because it's like, oh, I've seen all this before. There are 6 playable classes in Chrono Odyssey, but only 3 are actually playable in the beta. I don't know why. I guess they're not ready yet, and that's fine. You know, it's a beta. We're just here to try things out, limit test things for them, right? See what's working and what's not. And we will get into that, definitely, and really just explain really, really well what is not working. But hey, so we get 3 playable classes to try out. But I do want to just mention what classes are intended to be in the game at launch. So there is the Sorcerer, the Assassin, the Berserker, the Paladin, the Ranger, and the Swordsman. So I'm a big Final Fantasy VII fan. I am really way too big of a fan. It's everywhere. It's even in my name, Claudius, right? Cloud Strife. So I chose to be the Swordsman because you get to use a greatsword. Cloud Strife, here we go, right? Yeah, so it makes sense. I chose the Swordsman, and we go into character creation. And character creation is pretty good. I will say that. It is pretty good. It's not anything like mind-blowing, of course, but it's pretty good. And it has all of the, well, let's just say all of the important sliders that people might want, right? But yeah, there's a really good number of hair options. And what's really impressive to me is the number of facial hair options. Usually the male characters get kind of left by the wayside in some of these games. They don't get as many options for whatever reason in terms of the facial hair, right? But this game, it really gives you a lot to work with. So I was really impressed by that. And don't get ahead of yourself. That's pretty much about where the super impressed level for me stops and things start to go downhill pretty quickly. So I'm playing around with these character creation options. I get feeling pretty good about my character. Hey, this is looking pretty nice, right? It's not exactly Cloud Strife because the hair option, I wish they had a more crazy hair look that could, you know, kind of fit closer to the Cloud Strife look. But it's okay, you know, it gets me feeling pretty good. And then the game crashes. Just in character creation. I haven't even gotten into the game yet, and the game crashes already. So not a good sign. Definitely not a good sign. So I start the game back up. I'm able to get through character creation just fine this time, thankfully. And we get into the game. And pretty much immediately, you can see the, what would you call it? Like the pop-up issues and the loading issues of assets immediately. And even graphical bugs, right? Just right away. Right away in the intro cutscene, you're seeing all this happen. So pop-up, by that I mean like you're seeing assets loading in as you're watching the scene, right? So it just doesn't have things preloaded or pre-cached in a very good way, or it's not optimized very well immediately. And I have a 5070 graphics card and a 14th generation CPU with like 32 gigs of RAM, DDR5 RAM too. So I have a very, I would say, upper end PC. I had it on epic settings. That's one step down from the highest level. There's a cinematic level above that, basically like ultra, right? And so the game is smooth and everything looks good. So it's not like a lag issue. It's just the game is not made well. It is just not made well. I don't know how else to put it. But at least at this part in the intro cutscene, things still look kind of polished, right? Or the high fidelity look, right? And then we get thrown into the actual game and we start playing. And combat feels good. It feels pretty good. It feels okay. You can see how I'm kind of changing the bar here as I talk, because I have to hold myself back. Like, man, I enjoyed the combat okay, but it's really not great. It's not amazing. It's not like, it's not some legendary experience that I'm gonna remember for decades or something, right? It's okay. The lock-on targeting feels finicky, kind of weird. Like, it's jumpy. You don't know which one you're necessarily gonna lock onto when you press that lock-on button, and it's not hard to switch between, but it seems like jumpy when you switch between your lock-on targets. And then the swings of certain abilities, I don't know, just the directional lock of things. It feels like you should be able to pan around and do your directional ability where you're panning to. Instead, you have to fully face your character, like move them and face them in the correct direction to use your directional ability. It just feels very clunky, not good to use those abilities in that way. Other abilities feel good. Like, again, I'm the swordsman and I most often use the greatsword, even though you're supposed to do the switching between weapons mechanic, right? I mostly use the greatsword, and I really enjoyed the cleave ability. That's basically what it is a cleave. It's a big swing around yourself. That felt good. Get into a group of enemies and then cleave. But I don't know, some of it was okay, some of it was clunky, and so overall the experience ended up feeling like, it was okay. Combat's okay. I will throw a little bone out there and say that something I really liked was that you can double jump, and you can even double jump on your mount. That's kind of cool. That's pretty cool, Hey, Chrono Odyssey, it's not all bad. You got stuff going for you. It's not just a mid-game. Come on, there's aspects here that are pretty good. Is that it? Was that the only good thing? The mount and the double jump? Maybe, yeah. We'll find out. Let's keep going here. So that's one mobility aspect that's decent, right? It's nice. It's a nice little quality of life thing, little fun thing that you can do is double jump. But if you talk about the other mobility stuff, like jumping and mantling a ledge, it's very odd. You get stuck on ledges when you're trying to jump over them. It feels so clunky. It really does. The movement feels bad in certain places because of the terrain, usually. It just feels like, I don't know, like it wasn't very well thought out. Maybe their collisions are too rigid or something and you're getting stuck. Your actual character model is getting stuck or something. Maybe they need to smooth things, make them more rounded. I don't know. I have no idea. But it just doesn't feel good. Yeah, it doesn't feel good at all. Now, I will say the difficulty is definitely a step up from your average MMO, right? The beginner mobs are usually so just mindlessly brain dead easy that you don't really have to think about anything. But in this game, even the basic mobs, if you're not paying attention and trying to dodge attacks once in a while, they will destroy you. And I did get dropped quite a few times just from basic mobs because I would run into a group of them or, aggro too many or whatever, and it would just be too much. I would get overwhelmed, didn't dodge out in time, or I would get kind of staggered from one hit and then be trying to swing and get, I couldn't deal damage in enough time to drop them before I did, and yeah, you just go down. So that is one aspect to mention. This game is not as easy as other MMOs, and so if you enjoy a bit more of a challenge, if you want that out of your MMO experience, this game does give that. It's true, it does. There is one moment that I want to draw specific attention to, though. In a cutscene, this time wizard lady person is, putting this device into this wall mechanism, and right while she's doing that, she's backlit by the sky, and it's like a stormy night, right? And so there's lightning streaking across the sky, and the texturing of that lightning, the asset that they used, whatever they did, they couldn't even grab a simple, even a green screen lightning asset from YouTube or something, like a free asset somewhere, with a green screen, like literally just a video clip, and then, you know, just key the green out, right? They couldn't do that. It's the worst lightning effect I've ever seen. And like I said, I'm running this at epic settings, the second from the best level of graphical settings here. So it's not a settings issue. They just used horrible assets for the lightning for whatever reason. It feels like such an easy fix to bring the graphical fidelity of this game up a notch, having that environmental look be just a little bit better. But for whatever reason, they didn't do it. I don't know. And there's a lot of decisions like that in this game where it's like, this animation looks horrible. Why couldn't they have fine-tuned this animation just a little bit before putting out this beta so things just look a little better while people are playing and it just feels better because it looks better, right? I don't know. There's so many decisions like that that got skipped over, it seems. And yeah, it was jarring. It's like, wait, my immersion has been broken. So let's move on to something that is quite obvious once you get into the first town. And, well, really, other aspects of this game make it quite obvious as well. The gathering, the town, the town board. It's so obvious that they just ripped as much as they possibly could from New World. I mean, that's really what this game is. It's like a reskin of New World, but not done as well. And that's saying something because New World is not really the most popular MMO out there right now. I mean, you could say it's even dropping off consistently maybe in popularity. There's definitely spikes when they do updates and stuff like that, but you know, New World is not that popular now. And this game is, yeah, it's definitely just trying to do New World with like a different flavor to it, right? And it's just so obvious the more you look around and the more you experience of it. It's like, okay, the skilling, the gathering, you know, the town, the way the town looks, the way that the town feels. It's like, oh, this just kind of feels like New World, but like just looking slightly different. It's jarring in that way too. So I just want to circle back on something I kind of mentioned earlier, visual glitches. The lighting in this game is just, I don't know, it's just going haywire constantly. I don't know why. I don't know what causes it, but you'll see, like, I think my guess, and I could be wrong here, maybe I'm giving them too much credit with this guess, but I think maybe it has something to do with the clouds. Like they're trying to do some sort of real-time lighting, like, oh, you know, the sun peeking through the clouds would light this spot, but not this spot. That's my best guess. Otherwise, it's just a buggy mess that they haven't optimized at all. That's the absolute worst case, right? I'm giving them a lot of benefit of the doubt here by saying maybe it has something to do with the clouds, but what probably is the case is they just have a buggy mess. There's just spaghetti code everywhere or something, and so you end up with these glitchy lighting effects all over the grass. It's wild. It is a wild experience. One thing I will say is the boss fights feel really cool. The tutorial boss, you know, maybe a little bit underwhelming, but still pretty fun. But the first actual boss, the 1000-fold piercer guy, absolutely a tough fight and really fun to do. For me, I don't know, I enjoyed it. I'm not a huge Souls-like fan, and so, you know, I don't really love like tough, like aggravatingly difficult bosses, right? But this was not that hard. You know, I have played a bit of Elden Ring, and I've been playing Elden Ring Night Rain with friends, and this boss was not as hard as Elden Ring bosses, but somewhere a little bit below them. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought it had some really cool movesets. I thought the animations looked pretty cool. I thought it was, I don't know, pretty clean of a fight, you know? It didn't seem like the hitboxes were all over the place to me. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I will say that for this game. The boss fights seem pretty cool. So a little bit later on in my playthrough of this game, I did join up with a friend, got to experience kind of the party setup of this game, and that was pretty cool, right? So it's a good experience, you know, I had fun with my buddy. The thing that was really frustrating though was we get to this one quest. It's called A Warning Unsent. We're looking for Kaya in some ruins area, and for whatever reason, Kaya is missing. She's AFK. What happened? Where are you, Kaya? Nobody knows. It's not the main story quest, but it seemed like it was a pretty important one. So the main story quest is always on top, and then this one's like right below it, like a number 2 quest. and there's like local quests that go on the bottom of your kind of quest listing. So this wasn't a local quest, so it seemed fairly important, and it's just bugged. Kaya's just not there. We searched everywhere, all around the little radius that it shows on your map. If you open up your map, there's a circle. She's supposed to be in that circle somewhere. You're supposed to find her, and she is not there. She is not there. So the quest is fully bugged. You just can't find the NPC that you need to do the quest. And that is what kills it for me. When pieces of the game just don't work. Like, you just can't progress forward. What are you supposed to do? That is absolutely a game-killing experience for me. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe you can get around that. Maybe if the main quest is playable, that's enough. But not for me. So I couldn't even play the game after that. I was just done. I'm like, okay, quests are even broken. Guys, I mean, this is a beta, sure. I understand that. It's not going to be perfect in a beta situation. But beta means you're already past alpha. You're already past the point where you should be getting like the worst bugs out of the way in your very, very beginning experience of the game. You're not even far in. Like, we just beat the very first boss and are doing some basic quests, and these are not working for the beta? This is basic stuff. They should have at least this many quests figured out for people testing out the game. It seems really bizarre to me to let a kind of important quest be broken during your beta. I don't know. It leaves a bad impression for me. So I was just done. I'm like, I'm not playing this anymore. There's another day left. At this point, while I'm recording, this would be the last day. I'm not playing it today. I don't want to. I'm done. I've got my experience out of it. And then one more thing I want to talk about is the supposed price. So it's not ironed out. It hasn't been stated fully by the actual developer, right? So we don't know for sure. But speculation is leading to somewhere around $40 to $60 to buy this game and be able to play it. And there's probably going to be, you know, cosmetic microtransactions as well to continue to bring in revenue after the initial price of people buying the box, the game. $40 to $60 for this. Basing off of, because this is all we have, right? We have the beta experience to judge, to decide off of, right? If we want to get this game. And based off of this beta experience, it's so buggy. It's such a mess, so clunky, so incomplete, and so outrageously priced for that experience. I'm not interested, and I would not recommend this to anybody. Like, really, you should wait 6 months, maybe a year, and see if this game is even still alive before you buy it after this beta experience. It's crazy. It's crazy what they tried to get away with. And again, I understand it's a beta. There's going to be problems. There's going to be bugs. There's going to be things wrong in a beta. But such basic stuff, like animations that just don't look good, right? The mantling not working, like movement, character movement not being good in your beta. Like, what is going on? You can't even get movement right and combat to feel really good. Those are like the two basic things, right? What are you going to be doing most in your MMO experience? You're going to be running around and you're going to be fighting stuff. If those two things don't feel good, I don't know, man. I think it's dead in the water. I don't wish that for this developer or this game. Again, I was super hyped about this game before the beta came out. Like, this was the MMO I was most looking forward to and most hopeful for. So I don't want it to fail. I would love for them to completely flip the script on me and be like, hey, we actually have been working on this. That was a really old build. It's really good now. Everything's awesome. I would much prefer that. But as of right now, with what we have, that beta was absolutely horrible, and I would not recommend people get this game. We'll have to see, though. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I really do. Please prove me wrong, developers. Please prove me wrong, Chrono Odyssey. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.